Hello and welcome to my channel, guys. Today I'm going to be doing something very interesting. I'm going to be unboxing a MacBook, as well as I want to give you guys the background, the raw feel of an obsessed Windows user who is transiting to MacBook. So I've always been a Windows user all my life. I've used all sort of Windows products. Talk about Toshiba. I've used HP and those popular brands. So I feel I want to take a transition. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing today and I want you guys to feel it. So two things. If you are buying a brand new, of course, you like that feel of removing it from that new carton and stuff like that. You're going to be doing that. But I just got this one sent to me and I'm going to be doing your unboxing. So if you did not get it brand new, this is the closest you get to unboxing your MacBook. So let's see what we have inside. Well, it's well wrapped. You have the bubble wraps around it, so I'm going to be using this knife to cut through. If you're not a professional at cutting or using your knife, don't try this at home. Alright, so we are almost there. Let's see what we have inside this padded box of our MacBook, if we may. Yeah. Looking nice. Let's see. All right, and yeah, there we are inside our box. And okay, let's see what we have. Oh, well, it's well padded, so it's to prevent it from all forms of damage. You know, moving it around and stuff. We're almost there. We're almost there. Alright, so it took a lot of back and forth and convincing for me to decide that it is time for me to move into MacBook. So we have this. Let's start that. And whoa. Okay. Oh, this is just an addendum. It's not. It does not come with the pack. This does not come with the pack. But here we are. We have the charger and the cable that comes with it. So there's this 3-pin mouth that you slide. Let's see. Okay. In here, good, and that makes the charger good to go. So I'm going to discard this bubble wrap. I don't need it. So quick one for me, guys. When it comes to using laptops generally, looks smooth and nice. You see that crispy design and almost new touch. Yeah, so when it comes to laptops, for me generally, there are some basic things I look out for. Either I'm going for Windows or a macOS. Of course, this is my first time getting on a macOS on an Apple laptop personally. Number one for me, I start with the hardware. It must really be strong. You know, I want to check through, and that has made me use most of my laptop has always come with, you know, metal casing. I'm a bit of a very clumsy person. I go around with laptops a lot. There's a lot of, you know, movement back and forth and all of that. So I want something very strong that can withstand time. And if I show you something like this from my, you know, Windows PC, it starts from this edge here, the hinges. I always ensure it's not something that can easily break. So it's one of the things I look out for when getting a laptop. These hinges, I don't go for hinges that, you know, those that will have just one leg here and one leg here. I look for something that is strong and solid, that can withstand all forms of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Yes, and I've used laptops that goes as much as 180 when you pull it open. This does not go 180. So for me, the hardware design is always a non-negotiable part for me when getting a laptop, because, you know, if there's going to be a lot of moving, then it must be able to withstand the pressure, the stress, the workload. And after that, Another non-negotiable factor for me when it comes to laptop is my keyboard. I don't negotiate it. I like mechanical keyboard, the feel and the sound they give when you use them goes a long way. Then I want to check the number of ports on my laptop. Do I have the HDMI port? The VGA port is being phased out, so I want to check that USB 2.0, USB 3.0, and all of those parts are very, very important for me. So I had to go back and forth to check the config of which one should I go for, what can satisfy me. And let me say this, before I finally decide to go for it, this is a MacBook Pro 2015, okay? And based on my research and my findings, all the MacBooks that came out in the last decade, the MacBook Pro 2015 seems to be the most reliable. It comes with all of those ports, see. You have the Thunderbolt ports, you have the USB ports, and you have the HDMI, and the SD card reader all comes with it. So that makes it a reliable you want to go for, a reliable model you want to go for. So that is that about the hardware. And of course, talking about the hinges, I think they have a solid design here, a reliable design that makes it, something nice and dependable. So, and of course, the keyboard layout, this is 30 inches, by the way. So let's see what we have inside. All right, so let's take a journey inside and see what we have inside a MacBook Pro. Let's see if the experience is similar to what my darling Windows has always given me over the years, the UI and all of that. Yes, I think I've heard a lot of hype about it. I've used it a couple of times, but not heavily. So let's hope it's going to meet up the test. Yeah, something very interesting I noticed about this is the charging indicator. This can always be a major headache when you're trying to charge your device and you're struggling in between seeing if it has, if it got into the port correctly, if it's charging or not. So, oh, I like this. It's magnetic. Looks nice. So, it snaps in and shows that it's charging. Okay, so, and I like the magnetic feel of it. Unlike the Windows OS where you have to plug it in, this has a magnetic tip, and it snaps right in. So it's not a struggle of trying to see. So let's see what we have inside. And yep. Did you hear that? Did you hear that sound? So it made a very nice sound when I pressed the power button. I think Windows OS has never given me that sound before. So let's dive into it and see what we have. All right, so there's a couple of things I have observed moving from normal Windows OS to the Mac OS. One of them is you have your start menu on Windows OS, and Mac OS here we have what we call the Finder, which shows like a Windows interface, kind of, where you have your list of applications on it. And another very interesting thing I noticed is if you check the top corner here, these icons have been switched. On Windows, it used to be to the side, the top right corner, but it has been switched on the Windows. They still work the same way. You minimize, your close, and maximize to full screen and the likes, which works fine. Then yes, the document still works. Document works the same way. You want to right click and create a new folder, still work the same way like you do on your Windows. So let me put new folder as the name of this folder here and press enter. So it still works the same way like it does on our Windows. So this is my document. I can left click and okay, let me see. Oh, I'm trying to drag. So I just want to give you guys, the first time experience of moving from Windows to Mac OS. So I want to drag this folder to desktop. It's easy to do that on Windows. Wow, have I done that? No, I haven't. So what I did was double clicked on it and it opened. If I try to go back, it doesn't go back using my backspace like we would rather easily do on Windows OS. So if I right click, I still have my menu options and interestingly, this function caught my attention. You can tag a folder. You can add a tag to a folder. And I think what this does is it helps you organize your file much better. So if you have different folders, you have your music folder, you have your document or different work you do, you can easily organize them using color tags. I think that's cool. That's cool. Then of course the browser is there. You have the launchpad, the maps. All of this can be customized. All of this can be customized. The system information, system preference. So far I think it looks cool. Let me try and see if the Bluetooth is going to work. I want to connect it with my sound system and see if the Bluetooth is going to easily work. Like I could easily do that on my Windows. So my Bluetooth is turned on and it's still scanning for devices. So we'll come back for that and see how that works out for us. Then of course you can easily synchronize your contacts. You have your calendar, Apple TV, podcasts, and you have the Apple Store. Well, so far, what I can say is that I am actually impressed, and I think transiting from Windows OS to a MacBook is not going to be as challenging as we always have that fear, because there's always that fear for most Windows OS users when it comes to moving from using a Windows PC to using a MacBook. There's always that headache of compatibility. Will I get my tools? Will I get everything I need and stuff like that? So let's come here. Oh, our notification bar, just like we have it on our Windows OS, is here. What do we have here? Okay, this is Siri, and we have Cortana, which is its equivalent on Windows OS. We have our search, which is our spotlight. So this search button, what it does is you can use it to look for any kind of document. So let me look for a folder. I think we created a folder time called new folder. Let's see. Oh, cool. So it's easy. You use it to look for any kind of file you want to use. So quickly, I want to connect my external hard disk here and see if I can have access to some of my files. That's one of the things that is very easy to do on Windows. And great, it pops up already. Do you want to use this to back up with Time Machine? No. Well, decide later. I don't want to back up anything for now. So now for Windows users, you have to go to my computers to access external devices when you connect it to your device. But here it's bringing it directly on our desktop. So double click works the same way. It opens it. So let me try and navigate. And I must confess, I love the interface. I love the interface. Yes, there's something I didn't show you guys the other time. You see this? You don't get this on a Windows OS at all. And I think Apple discontinued this particular function of having this glowy icon, this Apple icon that is lit up, that looks beautiful on your device. So if you're getting 2019, 2020, you might not be having this function. But if this still freaks you out, if this still gets to you, I think you might want to go for a model that still has this beautiful light there. I wish, Windows would have something like that too. It will help the design. And so far, the hardware design is very, very beautiful. So quickly, let me see. I'm going to play some music. I love this one. to just pause and play. So that looks nice. Let's check the brightness. Wow, the brightness is fantastic as well. So I think I've missed quite a lot, not moving much earlier. I must confess that, even though I know a lot of people are gonna come from my head, I always had this bias towards, MacBook. I'm like, okay, what's there? I don't want to go. But sincerely, I must confess, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yes, let's check the video quality. I cannot ascertain all of those videos, they are not 4K. But let's see if we are going to have it's not bad, sincerely. And it has this image quality enhancement. Let me close that. I think it has this image quality enhancement that makes the video quality kind of look better or something. So you see the animation, you would have to use a third-party software to get that kind of experience on the Windows operating system. And if you look towards the lower part here, something crazy, every of your windows that you've opened, they are here. So I think I like that transition part. The user interface, user experience on a MacBook is more intuitive. It is more intuitive. It is more interactive as compared to Windows OS, where everything is just kind of boring and flat, and you click, it opens, you close, it shuts. Here, I like the interaction and how it kind of responds. So yes, and if you check the top left corner here, you would see that whatever application you are currently using is what it shows here. So I'm going to show you something. Let me open this. You notice it changes to Finder. Let me open this folder. So just like you have your Windows interface, you have your Finder here. And this is a function I only used on my iPad when I use gestures. So I want to try that on the mouse pad and see if it's going to work. So yeah, it worked. If you pinch, it closes the recent window and brings you here. So you have access to all of this. And interestingly, it comes with a chest. That's one of my very interesting game. So I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time playing this game. So let me do this again. Come on, yeah, close. Mission control. Wow. So mission control, what it basically does is you can have access to every interface that is currently open on your dashboard from mission control. So let me open this. This function is on Windows operating system as well, but not as an application per se, but so far looks nice. Okay, so we have our Apple Store. The Apple Store is equivalent to your Windows Store, or if you are using an Android OS, you are using a Chromebook, that will be your Google Play Store. We have our Safari. Safari is the default browser for Mac operating system. So, well, I'm going to be exploring this, but I think I still enjoy the experience I have with my Chrome browser. So, Mail works as your email application. I think it's still the same thing from where I'm coming from. Contact, well, I think this is for those who use Apple. It synchronizes your contacts, your FaceTime, your social media, and all of that. I think I've experienced that as well, but using my Google account, my Gmail account, your calendar is there. Then it has a reminder, and you will call that an alarm system on your Windows operating system. Notes, yeah, this looks nice. I think this is would like to use a current location. Not now. Okay, so this is more like you want to take personal note for yourself, and it synchronizes with your iCloud account. Come on, can you just close now? I don't need you again for now. Okay. Quit. Let me close this. Great. So FaceTime. message, those are for social media. You have your map, that's fine. Find my device. So I think this works to track the location of your device per time. So I'm going to be configuring all of that later. Like I said, we are just exploring this photo booth. So the photo booth works for the webcam, is equivalent to the webcam. We have our photo, which is a photo gallery, and preview. I don't know what this does, but I'm gonna try and find out. I'm just trying to have this first-hand experience of, this is my first time ever using a MacBook, even though I've done that before, and I'm just trying to see if I can easily just migrate and transit to a MacBook. All right, so we have the Apple TV, the voice memo, which is a voice recorder, then the news, the stocks, books, more like a library, comes with the dictionary, calculator, and all of that. But an interesting application I enjoy on Windows is the sticky notes, and I think I will find it handy here. So I think it's cool. I have my sticky note here. Let me see. Oh, I can maximize, I can minimize, I can make it don't allow. I don't need this yet. Okay. If you don't save this, oh, that deletes the note. So I think I like that function. So that is that for sticky notes. We'll talk about the mission control, your system preference, and we have other tools here, your grapher, voiceover, which I'm going to be exploring deeply as we go further. So this is an automator. What does it do? I'm gonna find out later. Okay, so well, at least so far I think moving around has not been difficult for a first-time user of a MacBook, having experience working with Windows for so many years and finally coming to use a MacBook. It is not bad at all. So if you have been considering how to transit or moving from Windows OS to an Apple OS, you will not have too much issue getting used to the interface. So far, my general observation, if you have been meaning to move from Windows OS to Apple OS to get a MacBook, generally I think you won't have any trouble moving around. You won't have any trouble transiting. And yes, I have always had that bias of being a Windows operating user person for years. I've tried Linux, I've used Windows operating system. I think just popular tool around here. So using this one too is interesting, and I think I'm going to stick with this operating system for years. So I'm sorry, but I have to let go of Windows operating system at this point in my life. I think this experience is too awesome to not want to have a part of it. I'm not advertising, but I think generally, depending on what you're on the lookout for, depending on your budget, because I realize budget-wise, Windows OS can be friendly. You get high specs, high-end PC at almost the same price you would get a low-end PC of a MacBook. But I think if you want peace of mind, you talk about your Intel graphics, or even if you're a programmer, whatever you use your PC for, I think a MacBook is a good deal to have. It's one of those tools, one of those laptops you should experience. Try it out, you'll like it. So if this is your first time here, of course, do well to click on the subscribe button and the like icon so that the next video I release, you get notified. This is Gadget234. See you some other time. Thank you.